This is our ESN command looking for Fulani in the bush. These are them. These are them. These are them. We had information that Fulani is operating somewhere in this very bush.
The reason why I am doing this particular video is because of our brothers and sisters who are supporting Nigeria government, who say that all the problem that is happening in Biafra land in Southeast was caused by ESN and the Biafra Liberation Army. ESN and the Biafra Liberation Army, especially ESN, they doesn't operate in town. They doesn't operate in town. They always operate in the bush, and this is their work. This is their job. They were created to protect lives and property. They were created by our leader Max Nnamdi Kanu to make sure that to make sure that the land of Biafra land are safe. So this is their work. So for those of you people that are tagging DSS and the Nigeria police and the Nigeria soldier to come after them, my brother, if you kill your brother, that doesn't mean that you have power. After you finish killing your brother, who will protect your land? Who are you expecting to come and protect your land? Sunday Igboho has his own men in Yoruba land. Why our people are promoting evil against our ESN? So share this video and drop your opinion in the comment section. Your opinion matters a lot.
This is our ESN command looking for Fulani in the bush. These are them. These are them. These are them. We had information that Fulani is operating somewhere in this very bush. They are now looking for them. We must get them. Come on. Come on. After all good. We are looking for Fulani inside this bush. And we must get them. We hear the message last night that the Fulani came to disturb our people here. We must get them. We must get them.
My dear Biafrans, our family members scattered across the globe, and every friend of justice who has kept faith with our struggle. Last weekend, I told you to fix your eyes on Jerusalem and on Washington, D.C. I did not ask you to hope. I asked you to watch, because what was unfolding in those two cities was not a product of wishful thinking. It was the product of deliberate, focused, strategic work. Today, I stand before you to say that what we watched for has arrived. The events in Washington, D.C. this week, and that is not merely symbolic. They represent a fundamental shift in the architecture of this struggle. Let me speak plainly about what happened and why it matters in ways that go far beyond a speech on a chamber floor. Congressman John James of Michigan stood up in the United States House of Representatives and did something that no American legislator has done with such clarity and force. He looked at the records of the Nigerian state and he named it for what it is. He called Nigeria the deadliest place on earth to be a Christian. He cataloged the slaughter of tens of thousands of our brothers and sisters by Islamist jihadists and bandits who operate with the tacit permission a government that has abandoned its most fundamental duty, which is to protect the lives of those within its borders. But he did not stop there. He took a case of one man, our leader Onyendumazi Nnamdi Kanu, and he lifted it out of the shadows where Abuja has tried to keep it. He described the trial for what it is and was: a performance, a theoretical exercise designed to produce a predetermined outcome. He demanded Nigeria either conduct a proper trial consistent with its own constitution, backed by actual evidence, with access to legal counsel, medical care, and humane detention conditions, or release our leader immediately and unconditionally. Now, I want you to understand the magnitude of this moment. Think of the countless political prisoners across Africa and across the world. Think of the many voices crying for justice that never penetrate the walls of power in Washington. Yet here, on the floor of the House of Representatives, a congressman stood and spoke the name of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He spoke it not as a footnote, not as an aside, but as a central pillar of his intervention. Apart from Nelson Mandela, can you name for me another African leader in the modern times who has been the subject of such direct, unambiguous advocacy in that chamber? You cannot, because it has not happened until now. This is what it looks like when the civilized world begin to listen, not to nod politically or politely, not to issue careful worded statements that say nothing, but to listen, to understand, and then to speak with moral clarity in the halls of real power. The United States Congress is not a student union. It is not a civil society conference. It is the legislative heart of the most powerful nation on earth. When a congressman takes the floor to defend a man Nigeria has tried to bury, something has changed. The ground has shifted. And let us be honest about why this happened. It did not happen by accident. It did not happen because someone in Washington woke up one morning and decided to care about Biafra. It happened because the divine project, those 100 men and women of purpose have been working quietly, strategically, building relationships, presenting facts, making the case that our struggle is not a criminal enterprise, but a legitimate demand for self-determination by a people who have been pushed to the margins of a country that does not value their lives. Last week, the breakthrough came in Jerusalem. This week, Washington, D.C. What those two events share is not geography. It is systematic dismantling of Nigerians' carefully constructed narrative about who we are and what we represent for years. Abuja has told the world that IPOB is a terrorist organization. For years, they have portrayed our leader as dangerous. For years, they have counted on the ignorance and indifference of international community to keep their version of events unchallenged. Those years are ending. The congressman intervention is a proof that the narrative is collapsing. When a Republican from Michigan stands on the floor of the House and declares that American aid to Nigeria should not fund Christian genocide or persecution of the voice of Biafra, the old lies can no longer hold. The billions that flow from Washington to Abuja now come with questions attached. The diplomatic cover that Nigeria once enjoyed is fraying. The international entitlement is tightening. We commend Congressman John James for his courage. America, for all its imperfections, has once again shown itself to be a place where the voice of the persecuted can find a platform. We salute our dedicated IPOB representative in the United States who have worked tirelessly, quietly, without fanfare or self-promotion to make this moment possible. The congressman's words are now part of the congressional record. They cannot be erased. They will be cited by future advocacies. They will shape how American policymakers think about Nigeria and about Biafra. This is not a fleeting moment. It is a milestone embodied in the permanent architecture of American legislative history. The world is now fully aware. The sham trial by Justice Omotoshot, the conviction entered without any extant written law in Nigeria, and the judicial recklessness have all been exposed globally. The impending shame on the Nigerian judiciary will be catastrophic. To the tedious and saboteurs, the Janjaweed apologists, Abuja propagandists, and all those still chanting Onyendo will die in prison. Open your eyes and watch the video. Your lies are being dismantled in the chambers of American power. Your fake terrorism narrative is collapsing. Onyendo Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is no longer a matter for Nigerian alone. He has become a global symbol of injustice, and free voice across the world are rising. Our enemies understand this shift, which is why they are working overtime to sow confusion. It is unfortunate that elements of the sacked and expelled third administration of Directorate of States have rolled out fresh propaganda. They claim that Nigerian government offered conditions for our leader release and that their group was rejected because they refused to sign up to it. They claim we were installed because we would sign. One simple question completely opposes this lie. Why is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu still in detention today? The silence that follows that question is sound of a lie collapsing under its own weight. Everything coming from these agents of Nigeria is nothing but lies, blackmail, and cheap propaganda designed to create confusion and division. They were defeated on Facebook and are now spreading the same falsehood on WhatsApp. If they were truly important and relevant, the Nigerian government would have negotiated directly with them. They have no real influence or mandate. Under the fourth administration, we are recording genuine progress on the international front. The triple success of the Jerusalem outing, the Washington, D.C. outing, and the engagement with Congressman John James. These are clear signs of momentum. Our leader has been consistent since the very first day he raised the Biafran banner. He wants a referendum. He wants the people of Biafra to exercise their sovereign right to determine their own destiny. He has never contemplated and will never contemplate giving up on Biafra. Anyone who believes otherwise seriously needs medical attention. Their thinking is not good. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remains the undiluted voice of Biafra, committed to self-determination through the rule of law. fair hearing, and the will of the people. The lies of the expelled gangs were crushed on Facebook. They will be obliterated on WhatsApp and every other platform. The fourth administration stands firm on the original mandate. Biafra is our collective destiny. No amount of propaganda from SAC imposters can change that. And it is in this context that I must now address another front in this information war. There is a campaign underway. It is sustained, it is deliberate, it is state-sponsored, and its aim at demarketing, discrediting, and dismantling the work of those who have given up their all in the service of our leader and this movement. Agents, proxies, and propaganda merchants deployed by the Nigerian state want to rewrite history. They want you to forget what has achieved and to doubt those achieved it. We are here tonight to place on a permanent record a truth that cannot be shaken. The record of our legal victories secured on behalf of Onyendu, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and IPOB is unassailable. Every single one of those judgments was brazenly disobeyed by the Nigerian state. No one has been overturned. No one has been appealed successfully. Not one has erased from books. They stand, they endure, and they testify. The Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Department of State Services, the Nigerian Army, and the Southeast Governor Forum stands thoroughly defeated in multiple courts of competence. The Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a sum of 9.5 billion naira in damages awarded by courts that had the evidence and rendered their verdicts. And here is the critical point. None of this judgment was appealed by the Nigerian government. They would, why would a government that claimed to be fighting terrorism not appeal a judgment awarding damages to an alleged terrorist? The answer is simple. They know they have no case. They know the judgment are sound. They are hoping you will forget. We are here to make sure you do not. Let me walk you through the records as already comprehensively documented and widely reported. These are subsisting judgments won by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB against the Nigerian government. In January 2022, the Abia State High Court in Umuahia delivered the first major victory. The court declared that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not jump bail, arising from the September 2017 military invasion of his ancestral home during Operation Python Dance, where 28 innocent souls were killed. The court awarded 1 billion naira in damages, ordered an apology, and recommended a political solution. In October 2022, the Federal High Court, Umuahia Division, delivered the first High Court declaration that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a victim of unlawful extraordinary rendition. The court awarded 500 million naira in damages, declared his detention illegal, and ordered the federal government to restore him to his pre-rendition status. The extraordinary rendition argument that won the acquittal equivalent discharge of October 13, 2022 was crafted by our legal team. Our leader himself has confirmed this on numerous occasions during the visitation. In October 2023, the State High Court in Enugu declared the 2027 prosecution of IPOB as a terrorist group unconstitutional, ordered the Southeast Governors Forum and the federal government to pay 8 billion naira in compensation to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB, and affirmed that self-determination is not a crime. Add those figures together: 1 billion 500 million, 8 billion, 9.5 billion naira in judgment that the Nigerian government has not appealed and cannot overturn. A record of total legal defeat for the Nigerian state on those core issues. But the work did not stop at Nigerian borders. Our legal team successfully engaged the African Union Commission on Human and People's Rights. In March 2018, the Commission condemned the arrest and trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB members, condemned the prosecution of IPOB, and condemned the Operation Python dance as a violation of the African Charter. The Commission directed the late President Buhari to stop further arrests and prosecutions and to reverse the prosecution. At the United Nations, the record is even more extensive. From 2017 through 2022, multiple UN Special Rapporteurs and the Human Rights Council issued ruling against Nigeria mistreatment of IPOB, declared the extraordinary rendition unlawful, directed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release and compensation, and declared the prosecution of IPOB as a discrimination against the Igbo people and a violation of United Nations Charter. These interventions collectively made it impossible for the Nigerian government to convince foreign countries to tag IPOB a terrorist organization. And in June 2025, the Kenyan High Court declared that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's adoption and forcibly renditions were unlawful and unconstitutional, awarded damages against the Kenyan government, and explicitly criticized Nigerian involvement. The records speak for itself. Our legal team successfully litigated the Operation Python dance invasion, where 28 people were killed. They successfully litigated the extraordinary rendition of Onyendu and secured declaratory judgment mandating restoration to pre-rendition status. They successfully engaged the African Union and the United Nations, rendering Nigerian terrorist tag on IPOB a global non-starter. They won the landmark victory against the illegal prosecution of IPOB. No other legal team, past or present, has won more landmark cases in the services of Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB. And there is no one more thing the record reveals. The current legal team is the one the Nigerian government could neither intimidate, coerce, nor buy over. They tried with others, they succeeded with some, but these ones remained standing, unbowed, unbroken, and undefeated. The coordinated and sponsored campaign of the Cromney against IPOB and those who serve under the supreme leader of Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is roundly defeated. It was defeated in the courts. It was defeated by the United Nations. It was defeated at the African Union, and it will be defeated in the court of public opinion, because facts are stubborn and truth is irresistible. Let the facts speak for themselves. Now, let me turn to a matter that is not about legal victories or international diplomacy. It is about flesh and blood. It is about human beings who have been abandoned, forgotten, and left to rot in the dungeons of the state that cares nothing for their lives. We continue to identify the abandoned Biafrans in prisons across Nigeria. Some of them are in facilities so remote that their families do not even know they are alive. Some of them have very serious health challenges occasioned by years of neglect, years of being denied medical care, denied proper food, denied the basic dignity that even convicted criminals are supposed, to receive. I want you to watch the video we are making. Look at the faces of one of the 57 Biafrans we have identified in Abakaliki prison. His name is Mbam Samson. He is from Igbaju in Nkaliki, right here in Ebonyi State. According to the information we have gathered, he was extracted from a hospital where he was being treated for gunshot wounds and dumped into Abakaliki prison, just taken from his hospital bed and thrown into a cell. Now, both of his legs are bad. The condition has deteriorated so severely that it's affecting his urinary ability. This is human being. This is a son of Biafra. This is somebody's brother, someone's child, someone's father perhaps. And he's suffering not because he was convicted of any crime, but because the Nigerian state has decided that Biafrans are less than human. I assure you that serious efforts are ongoing to contact the families of our detained and deceased family members in various detention facilities. I have instructed our attorneys to hold a press conference this coming week, during which they will provide precise details on the actions being taken to secure their safe return.